Well, for me, Sons of God can be drawn back all the way back into when I was in middle school. And me and my friends are coming up with their own comic book characters. We like to draw on a couple of stories. And one of the characters that came up with was a character who wore a nail on his mask, and he shot nails from his gun. That was his gimmick, and he would nail people to the wall, the bad guys. And the character never made it anywhere. I liked the visual, but I didn't really like his power and all that. So what I did is I took that visual that I liked, added a cross instead of a nail. I made the character a religious character, a spiritual warrior, and it was his job is to hunt down evil. So I was trying to think what kind of bad guy. And at the time, I was reading a lot of our stories in school, and like Beowulf, and story of Grendel. I was like, well, I like the idea of like maybe like a dragon, medieval time dragon. So that was his first mission, was he had to go and rescue this princess from this dragon that was in this cave. Now that was neat. It was kind of something you've heard before, and I like just to kind of play off that. And they would go out through time. The dragon would be defeated, but there'd be more evil. This guy to go and fight. So that kind of evolved all the way up until high school, and I created a whole team for them, and they had different like gadgets and gizmos. But it always bothered me. I didn't really have a solid bad guy that he had to fight throughout. And so I was reading a lot of scriptures and things like that, and I was real interested in the fall of the angels. And so that's kind of neat, this a demonic villain. So I changed the dragon into a fallen angel, a demon. And I started working on that. Named him Simon. When he fell from heaven, his name was Sin. So I had Sin as the bad guy, and I was calling the good guy Christian. Well, after high school, I went on to college, and I'd taken these characters with me. I always had a sketchbook on me, and I was always sketching out different ideas. It wasn't really until I took a class where we had to create an ad campaign that I kind of came back to the characters. And the ad campaign was, I wanted to make what if this idea was going to be a movie? So I created a movie poster, the cover on a CD soundtrack, an action figure, just the whole works. And the whole thing focused on the villain rather than the good guy. I was more interested in Simon, this fallen angel. And that's where it all kind of went. And I even went as far as creating like little flash cartoons, things like that, just to kind of promote it. But it really got me back into the characters and really wanted to kind of create something with them, whether it be like a comic book, or I wasn't really sure at the time. After I graduated college, I came back home, and I'd always show people my fake movie trailer and the stories and the drawings. And there seemed to be an interest there, and I kind of wanted to get back in it. It wasn't really until I helped one of my friends shoot a short film, and I realized that making films was something that was in my grasp. I'd always kind of didn't really consider it. I thought it was too expensive or just too complicated. But with DV technology where it was, I realized this is something I can do now. So it was a kind of an ambitious project, where I jumped in. I wanted to do Sons of God right off the bat, which looking back wasn't the right decision, but it was a big learning experience. So I got my friends together, and I was going to create my first attempt in Sons of God. So I started doing storyboards, drawing out the character, writing up a real brief script. I didn't even have something really on paper. I just had ideas, more of an outline. And got online, ordered armor. We built these big wings, and I was pretty happy with how things were going. I was just experimenting, and it was like first time out, and I just felt like things were happening. It was a real creative time. So we started shooting, and I was probably a little too ambitious for being my first time out. I wanted to shoot everything vertical. It's like, this is something new, no one's done it. And there's a reason nobody's done it. It's not a good idea. But I shot it vertical, thinking, okay, this is the widescreen of the future, it's narrow screen. But looking back, it was a bad idea. But we went on with it, we shot. The character of Simon was no longer, he wasn't a demon, but he was still exiled from heaven. He was still an angel. He was exiled from heaven. He was trying to go and help people, but he always failed. He couldn't accomplish it. Now he just wanted to win his way back into heaven. After I finished the movie and watched it, I wasn't happy with the story I was telling. I wasn't happy with the character. It didn't seem like I was being true to what I thought the character should be. And even just it wasn't what I started off. I wanted, good versus evil, back to when I was in middle school. So I took the character Simon I liked so much and made him an angel. It's like, let's just make him an angel, and we'll give him another bad guy, someone of pure evil, a demon for him to face. So I kept on writing. I always plan on going back and redoing it, and brought me to the point I am now, where I have characters where I think they're where they need to be, and I'm finally going to tell the story that I've been waiting to tell back since middle school.